Hi guys, it's Kai and welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be another wig tutorial, and this one is sponsored by AsteriaHair. So they sent over 3 26-inch bundles, and I think a 20-inch frontal of 1B hair. So I'm going to show you how I dyed it and colored it to get to this sort of dark chocolate brown color. And then I'm going to show you how I styled this hair. So this is sort of like just my signature style. It's just big and messy and huge and curly. So if you want to see how I style this hair, then just keep watching. Okay, so I got 3 26-inch bundles and a 20-inch frontal of 1B body wave hair. Before you bleach it, you're going to want to unravel your bundles and instead just fold them up. You can't let it be too thick or else it won't bleach the insides. You have to cover every single strand. My goal for this color was sort of like a chocolate brown, so I went ahead and I lightly bleached the hair. Maybe there's no such thing as lightly bleaching, but what I did was I used a 20 volume developer. I left it on for like 5 minutes before washing it out. So I start at the ends and work my way to the top, and when I saturate the entire surface, I flip the hair over and I do it again. And then hopefully you'll hit every single strand, but sort of run over this with your gloves to really make sure that it's saturated. I'm only showing you this process on one bundle since it's the exact same for the rest of the hair. You know, in retrospect, the color I achieved was already so dark. I really could have just done color, like I really did not need to do bleach and color. But this was my first time bleaching bundles. I really wanted to try it. This was also the same weekend. I decided to be spontaneous and bleach my hair on my head, if that is any indication of how interesting I found this. That's a story for another time. Anyway, you wash out the bleach after like 5 minutes, so you get this medium dark brown, and then I just let this air dry overnight, and then I applied a mixture of these 2 permanent dyes from Ion. Honestly, I sometimes just go to the beauty supply store and I buy what looks appealing to me. I really like mixing dyes because I'm really just indecisive, but I really like this formula. It was a liquid dye instead of a cream. It was so much easier to apply to the hair because it was so liquid, it didn't all dry up. Again, I left this on for a pretty short time. I believe I mixed this with 20 volume developer and left it on for like 10 minutes. By the way, when I'm doing all of this bleaching and coloring, I just do them one at a time. So I'll bleach a bundle, wait 5 minutes, wash it out, and then I do the next one. I find if you do multiple at a time, then this one has been sitting there for 15 minutes while you were working on the other ones. It just gets too stressful. So I think it's just better to be patient and do them one at a time. But after you wash out the color, this is what it looks like. Something you can do to make the lace front lay a little bit more naturally on your head is bleach the knots, which just means you're applying bleach to underneath the lace front because the knots kind of just look like these dark dots of hair which look really clocky. So what you're seeing here is me applying a ton of gel and hairspray to the hair in hopes of kind of protecting it from the bleach. I saw Miss Posh doing this and I thought it was worth a try. The idea is that you only want to bleach the first like millimeter of hair right at the knot so it's light enough to blend into your scalp color, but you don't want the bleach to touch any of the hair beyond that, so I'm trying to protect it sort of. The other way we enforce this is by mixing the bleach powder and developer mixture to be really thick and pasty, so kind of use more powder. That way when you apply it to the lace, it's not going to bleed through and spill onto the hair strands. I used a 20 volume developer here. I really wanted this to be light because my scalp is so light, so I let it sit for like almost 30 minutes before washing it out. Some of the bleach did inadvertently spill onto the other side of the lace, so to tone out all of the brassy, warm tones, I used some purple shampoo. A tip to really get the most out of your purple shampoo is to kind of apply it almost like you would with color, so you're not going to dilute it with water and just make it into a bunch of suds. And the bottle says to leave it on for 3 to 5 minutes. I feel like I leave it on for like 30 minutes. I just find it works so well. So I already showed you in a recent video how to construct the wig onto the wig cap. So I did that all off camera. So this is what the wig looks like when I put it all together. So I want to show you how I pluck my hairline, and I prefer to do this when the wig is constructed because I can get better gauge how it's going to look on my head. Plus, after I bleach the knots, I find it sort of almost weakens the knots of the hair, so it's easier to pull out. So we can kind of take advantage of the fact that it's weakening the hair. You know, something I started doing after seeing on YouTube is I tweeze in rows, starting about like 2 to 3 finger widths back behind the hairline, and I only tweeze a little bit at a time. So I section off a thin section and I move forward in rows until I reach the actual hairline. I think this process allows for a more uniformly sparse hairline as opposed to just tweezing the hairline. We're tweezing behind it as well, so it sort of relieves us from the temptation to overpluck. I approach it in sort of like this divide and conquer method, so I kind of do like a quarter of the hairline at a time. And if you see me spraying something on it, it's just water. That just allows me to kind of get a better look at what's going on. It should take you about 30 minutes to do all of this. Well, all that's left now is to style the wig. So I'm using a curling wand. I think it's about 1.5 inches in diameter. And I take small sections and I wrap the hair around the barrel. And then I pin them up with a little clip so that they can cool in this position. And that's really how to make the most out of your curl. I'm finding with human hair wigs, it's so easy to brush out the curls and have them fall into this like almost straight waves. So for this wig, if I still want it to be wavy and curly after I do all the brushing and teasing, I kind of have to over curl it in the beginning. So that's what I've done to the whole wig by pinning those curls up and letting them cool in that curl. So now I'm going to do a little bit of teasing. I decided to try out this little volumizing teasing spray that I found in my little hair drawer, and I just spray that at the base before I start teasing. And what I do is I take a little section and like sort of a boar bristle type brush, and I brush from about 1/3 of the way up the shaft down through the base and sort of flick the brush away. It creates this sort of cloud at the base and it should stand right up. You don't have to dig the brush in with lots of pressure when you're backcombing. You only have to scrape the surface of the strand down to create that little cloud, and repeat that maybe 3 or 4 times and move on to the next section. As long as you're not super aggressive with it and really packing the hair down, you're not going to damage the hair. What we're doing is we're just adding a bunch of air into the wig, sort of like we're inflating it. Also, I didn't tease the entire wig. I really just wanted to do the top of the wig to add a little bit more height to the top and volume to the sides. I didn't want this to be huge. And I'm also not parting the hair any which way. I sort of call this like my lion's mane style because it's sort of like just the hair is all being pushed back out away from the face, almost as if we just had this fan in front of us blowing our hair back like Beyonce. And my trick when I'm done is I take it off the wig head, I turn it upside down, and I brush the hair away from the forehead and start introducing some hairspray into the party. This is what's going to be the surface of the hair, so all of the teasing is underneath it. And when you flip this upside down again, you get this big, beautiful lion's mane that you could just slightly adjust, add a little bit more teasing if there's a place that's falling flat, seal it in with hairspray, and that's pretty much all I do. And this, you guys, is the finished hair. Hair flips are like not a good idea when you're wearing lip gloss. I still could have teased, honestly, like more hair than I did. Like I really only backcombed the top few sections, but I just wanted to keep the wig looking like long and luscious. I think maybe my only criticism is that the lace is just a little bit too dark for me. I think this is like a company that really is just geared towards like darker skin girls. It's really not too big of a deal though. Like I still think this hairline looks really good. If you guys want to try out this project for yourselves, I'll leave the links down in the description of all the hair for you to check out. PS, have you noticed my nails make a comeback on this channel? They're like a recurring guest here. Remember when I did that nail video, I was like, it's so easy. Well, I couldn't take my own advice because I started just wearing press-on nails, like literally pre-made from the store. But I like these. They're just a very simple, cute French tip. It takes like 10 seconds to put on, so I endorse these. Also, I wanted to shout out some people on Instagram who've been tagging me in their works and recreating my tutorials, which I always love to see. So if you do that and you tag me, I'll be sure to give you a little shout out. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what else you want to see me do on my channel. But until my next video, I hope you guys are all doing well. Bye.